Look, here's the thing, right? Every single idea that we have is going to be either time or energy. It doesn't matter how much you feel inspired by something, it's going to require time and energy. And what we tend to do is we try to put a lot of ideas into one moment, right? And what we end up doing is we end up juggling all of them, and it overwhelms us. And then time's gone and past. In that time that you've wasted trying to juggle all of those ideas, you'd have got one of them completed, being able to say that I've successfully done this thing, and now get excited about the next thing, and then get excited about the next thing. But what's happening for us as ADHD is that we have these ideas and they give us a dopamine boost. They stimulate us, right? And that's the reason why we constantly do this all the time, is just putting loads of things on our plate because we're bored. And here's the thing, a lot of this comes down to lack of clarity. This is all it comes down to at the end of the day. Like if you wake up tomorrow and you say, okay, what am I going to do today? That is a very bad start because you literally just can do whatever you want to do. You can pick up your phone, and if you've got social media apps on your phone, you can scroll, you can get some new ideas from different content creators. You literally, like, this is endless, right? So the biggest bottleneck for us is actually lack of clarity on what we actually want to focus on, right? And having time windows that are actually allocated for those things. So what I do, I have my dashboard here for Notion, and what I do now is I have what's called the one thing. And I've got a book here as well called The One Thing. This is the book here. This book here has probably changed my life the most out of every book that I've read. And I've not even read the whole damn book, right? But in terms of concepts, this book is probably one of the best concepts that I've come across, right? And the reason why is because for us as ADHD is there's a few things that have been a big bottleneck for us, but we've been trying to fit in to society and or what the norm is, right? In society, typically in the default that we have is multitasking. So you might find yourself in a 9 to 5 role where you're doing something and then someone comes and distracts you, and then you go and you do that thing because they've told you have to do it now, and then you try and come back and continue where you left off, but you can't. So then you don't feel like you're making progress throughout your day because you're just constantly task switching, right? Multitasking and task switching are the worst things. The worst, it's like the worst thing that we could be um having a part of our day. We need to have windows of time that we say are allocated for a specific thing. I want to do this at this time, this window, just like if you're booking an appointment for anything, you want to book an appointment. This is an appointment. Stop wasting time is the task that I have, which is this video, is a YouTube video. That's the project type. Everything I see is projects, right? So I have projects and I have dominoes. The domino is what I'm doing now. I'm recording a YouTube video, right? The project is obviously YouTube. That's the type of project it is, right? And this is a part of a series that I'm doing. So the thing is, what I do is whenever I'm deciding what am I going to do with this window of time that I have, I look at every single window of my time as hours. I only see 1 hour. Like, okay, so here's 1 hour. So 10 till 11. Let's just say 10 to 11, for example. So there's 10 until 11 o'clock. The day before, I need to know what I'm doing at 10 until 11. I can't be waking up and trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Yeah, don't know. Think about that's our problem. We need to try to, if you can, try and be 48 hours ahead in terms of preparing what you're going to do with the windows of time that you have. And I looked at my calendar. And I don't know what it was about yesterday, but it just landed differently for me about time. I looked at the windows, like I looked at, like, obviously I've got my client calls, I've got, this different slots of like different things that are happening throughout my day, right? And I looked at the ones that were empty and I was counting them and I was just like, that's the only time I have for that day. And it's the first time it really landed for me. Like, that's only 5 slots. And like it just landed for me because like if you think Oh, I've got plenty of time, 5 hours. That's where we go wrong. I ain't got 5 hours. I've got 5 slots, which is 5 things that I need to decide what I'm going to do with those 5 slots. Some things are not going to take 1 hour, right? I get it. But you should still give yourself an hour for something. And I'm talking about stuff specific to like a needle mover. So I'm talking about business activities. I'm talking about project ideas. I'm talking about gym. Like if you're going to go gym, at least block an hour for that. Even if you do like 50 minutes in the gym, like cater for the walk to get there, the changing, and then once you change and you walk back or the shower, all the stuff, it accumulates to about an hour, right? We need to look at each thing that we're going to do in our day within an hour window. Whether it takes us an hour or not, we should still block it. And if obviously it takes longer than an hour, then we have to do 2 hour slots, right? It's a 2 hour slot. The thing is, when I look at time like that now, it scares me how much time I've wasted. And this is the thing. If I don't choose what those 5 things are for those hour windows, which I call them 55 minutes, 5 minute break, which is called the 55-5 method, something else is going to go in there random that I just feel like doing in that moment. And it's not going to be anything to do with moving the needle forward. It's going to be impulsive. If I would prefer to just watch a program, I need to block that in. I'm going to watch a program at this time. If that's the decision I'm going to make, just make that decision and just say, do you know what? This is what I'm going to do with this hour. At least decide what you're going to do with that hour. Yeah, I'm going to doom scroll. Like, there's nothing wrong with you doom scrolling. If you decide to do it, yeah, do you know, an hour of doom scrolling, like, yeah, I decide I'm going to do it. Like, cool. But we can't just go into a day just being like, wonder what I should do today. What do I feel like doing? Hmm, I've got to write the book, but feel like maybe just doing this random thing that has nothing to do with like where I'm at on the stage of the book yet. Like you're looking at all this other random stuff that's in the future where you're nowhere near that stage yet, where you could be just focusing on completing chapter one or getting that outline done or doing the chapter breakdown, like the table of contents, right? So I think it's really, really important that we look at blocking time for these things that we say we want to work on. Because if we don't, they will not make progress. They're not going to make progress, especially now. Now our attention's been taken away so quickly. I'm just thinking about how many slots I've just let slip away because I never had any like just booked available time for doing the things, right? So we need to get really intentional with that. Like another thing I'll say as well that's really important that I'm going to say to end the video is that there's these little things that like finances, like reviews of your week or whatever, decluttering. We need to block these as well. We need to look at our time. We need to say when am I going to spend time to sit down and look at my expenditure, look at my expenses, or like like I've got to do taxes every quarter, right? But apart from taxes, I've never really looked at money like, oh yeah, let me just check my budget. Like we need to block time for all of this stuff. Like we're just aimlessly just going through life, just being reactive to stuff. And oh, I'm bored. I've got nothing to do. Okay, I'll just watch this, or I'll just do that, and I'll watch the news. And we're losing time. Like time is running out. We're already in the third quarter. Like the first quarter is almost gone. Like that's one. Like we're like we're like 20% of the year's gone already. It's crazy. So yeah, like this is what I'm up to. Obviously, I've got my dashboard that I've been working on, and it's got my daily signal, so I know exactly what my activities are for today. What I do is I drop anything that's in here that I want to start doing right now. I obviously click on it to be a domino for the one thing, and then I focus on this task. And when this is done, then I go to the next thing. And there's many other things here which I'll show you later on in future videos. But anyway, take care. Peace.